I'm Sam DeBella, and I'm a car enthusiast here in Carmel, and this is my 1988 Pontiac Firebird Trans Am GTA. I go to car meets every weekend, and I've spent more money than I would care to admit on my car. And it's just a part of my everyday life. I've met so many people through it, and I wanted to try and show this car culture to people who don't even know that it exists. So this is how I'm going to try and do it. So in order to kind of get familiar with these people, and just before I started asking some of the questions, I asked them what their cars meant to them.
Well, my car is my hobby. It's what I do in the off time when I'm not at work. I spend a lot of time keeping it up, a lot of money into it. This car worth about $1,500, but it's got about 15,000 in it. So.
Well, I've got a number of cars. These two that we brought today are kind of special cars that you don't see often. One is a 2005 Ford GT, and they made these cars in 05 and 06. They made 4,000 cars for the world, half of them in 05 and half in 06. The Porsche Carrera GT is a 2005, and total production of those cars for the world was 1,200 cars. And half of them came to the US, and the other half stayed in Europe. And they're pretty special cars, and we like to bring them out and let other people enjoy them, because you don't see these two cars on the road very often.
My first car was actually a Lexus, and also I like the luxury, but it's also a Toyota, so it's super reliable. Got leather seats and seat heaters.
So then, getting into it a little more, I decided to ask them around how much money they've spent on their cars.
Close to 50,000.
That's a hard question. Over 11 years, I have no idea.
Well, on these two cars, current value of the Ford GT is about $350,000, and the Porsche Carrera is about $750,000 to $800,000. So it's an investment that to get as old as I am at this point in life, maybe you've worked hard enough to get to enjoy this.
Not all that much. The wheels are probably the most expensive car. A couple grand, you know. Just important was the big thing.
Go ahead.
I've spent a lot of not so much money on this car, $2,000 on a couple other cars, and about $2,000 in audio for this car actually, but that's about it.
And then I asked them what car culture meant to them and how it affected their lives.
Every weekend I go to a car meet of some sort, someplace. So I've done that for the last about 30 years now.
Well, the best thing about the car cruises or car meets is that you meet people that have a common cause. But there's a lot of different types of vehicles, style of vehicles. But for the most part, these people are not pretentious. They're not here to show off anything. They're just people that like cars, and they like to talk about it. Some people build them, some people buy them, but probably the best part about it is the fact that you have the commonality of liking a vehicle and can appreciate different types of vehicles.
You know, car guys and car club guys always find their way around. Some of us evolved through a variety of makes in 50 years, but nonetheless, the friendships and the passion are there. There's a club scene among one of the clubs that I'm associated with. You come for the car, but you stay for the people. And I think that sums it up. You make a lot of interesting friendships, global friendships. I've talked this week to guys in New York, Illinois, North Carolina, Bahrain, Norway, and when I say talk, I mean on the telephone. Yeah, we email and all that, but it's a great bunch of people all trying to keep theirs going.
I grew up around cars. My older brother fixed up an old car as his first car when he was 16, and my dad was always into old cars, so it was kind of the way I was raised. And then I did the same thing, bought an old car and restored it for my first car. So I've always been into old cars and old Dodges and Plymouth specifically.
I started drawing pictures of cars, not very well, but drawing pictures of cars when I was in high school. I bought my first car the day I got a driver's license, and as a used car, money that I'd saved from cutting grass and doing whatever, because I couldn't wait. And I've been buying and selling and turning over and parlaying to these kinds of cars probably most of my life. I can't even begin to tell you how many cars I've owned over the years. I just have always loved cars. I don't play golf. I don't collect stamps or butterflies or anything else, but I love cars.
Car culture is actually incredible. I mean, all the people I've met through cars is all because of this car. I used to have a Honda before this. The scene is completely different. A whole lot, like just a big different group of people. Once I got in the Volkswagens, I mean, everybody in the community is super friendly. Everybody's cool. Everybody always helps people out. The car community. If I wasn't into cars, I wouldn't really know what to do with my life. It's kind of everything I do and everything I put my passion to.
Great. I love coming, seeing everyone's builds, seeing, I wish there was more Japanese cars, but, loving seeing the P1 and the, different car culture coming together at Cars and Coffee and all the, other events. It's love seeing all the different ones.
I've met a lot of good friends through cars. It's given me a lot of stuff to do and good outlet to spend money on other than bad things. And car meets are really fun. It's good to meet a lot of different people that are all into different cars or similar cars. And racing's fun too.
And then I just had them tell me whatever they've done to their cars, what they plan to do with their cars, just the general plans overall for where things are headed.
Oh, everything from swapped out the suspension to swapped out the motor, so it's all it is the shell of a 98 Honda, and the rest of it's just totally upgraded, so for a rounded vehicle.
It's a 1933 Ford two-door sedan, and it has a engine out of a 95 Corvette. It's an LT1 aluminum head. Did about 305 horsepower, and we put a 30 horsepower chip in it. It's got a Mustang front end. It's got a Ford 9-inch rear end. The engine and the transmission both came out of a 95 Corvette.
It's a 1969 Dodge Coronet RT convertible. I've had it almost 11 years.
And then what are some of the things that you've been doing to it, or that you want to do to it?
I redid the seats, redid the engine, rebuilt the engine. Basically all of the electronics and mechanical stuff updated, just haven't painted it.
Your car, and how long have you had it?
It is a 2005 Volkswagen GTI. I've had it for about a year now. When I first bought it, it was completely stock. Had a couple issues in it, had a major oil leak and everything. So it was kind of in rough condition.
Alright, and then what all have you done to it?
I've done everything from, I have a just regular intake right now, 3-inch straight pipe exhaust. It's on coilovers and staggered wheels, staggered offset and everything. Stretch tires as well and everything. Just kind of do a little bit of a stancy look to it, and then also going to be putting a lot of performance stuff into it. I'm going to be tuning up the turbo with the APR, the stage 2. So hopefully I'll be running around like 430, 440 horsepower.
It is a 93 Nissan Silvia Club K.
And this is my 1997 Lexus SC 400. I haven't really done anything to it yet, except it's got a subwoofer, Boston Acoustics G5 with a 1200 watt amp, and I've done a VFI intake on it. Next is manual swap and then turbo.
So what we learned when we were filming this documentary was that people meet other people and make these awesome relationships with others when they come to these meets. And so then one of the people I interviewed said something that I really liked, that at first everybody comes for the cars, but then you stay for the people. And that's completely true. That's how I got into it. I came to see other people's cars and what they were doing to them. And then I met all these amazing people that you got to see, and I stay because they're just great, genuine people.
to see how many different people. Wow. That's crazy. It's Batmobile.
Get a shot of it rolling. Right? No, like while it's pulling into a spot. Right.
Turning that thing around.
Yeah.